As a reminder, please silence all cell phones. Welcome to tonight's press conference for the Sacred Heart University Pioneers. Sacred Heart Sports Information Director is Allison Hogue. Tonight we are joined by head coach Jessica Mannetti and student athletes Nysera Pryor and Kelsey Wood. Coach Mannetti, would you like to make an opening statement?
Yes, thank you. This game was incredible. Stanford is a dynamic, balanced, very well-coached team. If you're going to lose to a team in the tournament, let it be to Stanford. I mean, just being able to play against that level of talent was such an incredible experience to witness. They almost had 7 players in double digits, and they have weapons all over the floor. And I think I'm the most proud of our kids because we weren't scared of that. We did a tremendous job starting the game at the pace we wanted, getting the shots we wanted, and really coming out of the gate firing. And I was really proud of our effort. I was really, really proud of the way that we responded through some of the runs they had. And at the end of the day, we did what we came here to do, which was compete nationally. We came here as an NEC champion. We won that first 4 game, and we're able to really bring a lot of pride to our university and make history. And, you know, unfortunately, most seasons end with a loss unless you win some sort of championship, but this doesn't feel like a loss to us today. So I'm very, very proud of our program.
We'll now take questions for the student athletes. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of each question. If you're on the Zoom call and have a question, please use the raise hand function, and I will call on you if we have time for your questions.
Ben Barker, CardinalSportsReport.com. This question's for Nye. Just talk about your matchup with Talana Lopolo, what it was like going against her, and just how you felt that matchup went.
The matchup was great. You know, she's a great player. She pushes in transition just like how I do. So it was just a great experience to, you know, play somebody that's, you know, small like me with a, you know, a team that she's a lot of a lot of people that has, you know, height on her team, and she's one of the smaller ones. So it's just, you know, it was a great experience to go against her.
Nye, you obviously are shorter than most of the players that you go against, but is there a difference when you're going up against 6'3", 6'4", 6'7"? And I guess how did you feel that difference the most?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a different, you know, experience, you know. It's a lot of girls that's 6'7", 6'5", so I'm not used to that. But they allowed me to, like, get to the basket sometimes. Sometimes they got the blocks, sometimes they didn't. But I just had to take my time, you know, and they baited me into some shots, or to my shots because they're just long. But
Hi, Kelsey. Janie McCauley from AP. What is it like when Stanford just keeps bringing in tall players and depth and, you know, just so many different threats? I know your coach touched on it, but even without Cameron Brink, they're pretty loaded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was difficult, obviously. I mean, they have 5 inches on me, so, you know, in the NEC, we're not really used to seeing that. But I think it was really good exposure for our team. And I think we handled it pretty well, but, you know, they're just big and they're strong and they're just great players. So, you know, we played really hard. All the posts were exhausted at the end of the game, but, you know, they're all great players, but it was really good exposure for us.
For both of you, when the first quarter is 5, it's only a 5-point deficit at the end. Obviously, it gets away later on, but is that something that you can look back on, and even just within that minute and within those minutes, you know, we're hanging pretty tough with one of the top teams in the country?
yeah, that'll sit with me for the rest of my life. You know, we stayed with Stanford in the first quarter, so I'm very proud of my team. You know, we're a very young team, so I'm just proud of them overall.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we were pretty hyped when the first media came out and we were up by like 2 points. I think it was 7-9. So we're like, oh my God, like we got this. But, you know, we kind of said we just got to keep playing our game, kind of have fun with it. But it was definitely an experience, and I'll never forget this.
Cheryl Coward, hoopfeed.com. This is for Nye. After the game, I saw that Tara Vanderveer gave you a hug and said a few words to you. Could you maybe share what she said to you?
She said I'm a great player, you know. Take your time with it, and I'm young, so keep going.
What did that mean to you, Nye? Because I saw her do that, I mean, not only with Jessica, but she actually takes a minute during the handshakes and speaks to you all, and it's sincere. I mean, she's been doing it for a long, long time.
Oh, yeah, that's a great experience. You know, she's a great coach. And it means a lot to me. You know, she's a great coach, like I said. So to hear that from her is amazing.
Kelsey, when you guys come out to California, you barely have any time to even breathe after winning the NEC. To kind of, as you know that you're heading home and whatnot, what would you take away from just the week that this was, from winning your conference to flying into this game and these two?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take away every single experience that I had here in California, everything. I mean, even just winning the championship at home and then flying out here and getting the first NCAA win in NEC history. I mean, I can list 1,000 things that I'll remember. But really, I think I'll just remember this team forever. Like, we just connect and we have such a special bond that I've never felt with any other team. You know, we're all best friends. We're just amazing. So having this experience with my best friends is probably what I'm going to take away from this.
Kelsey kind of said it. Like, I'm going to remember this feeling for the rest of my life. Like, we played on Stanford court. Who would have ever thought? So I'm just proud of this team, and I'm looking forward to the years to come.
No, just kind of talk about kind of big picture for you, the success you've already had as a freshman, just kind of how excited you are, you know, have your freshman season go the way that it did. Mm-hmm. I think Tar mentioned you led the nation in steals, I think. Just talk about the ceiling that you feel you have and just how exciting it is to play so well as a freshman.
Yeah, I feel like the sky's the limit, you know. Why not run it back? A lot of people say you did everything your freshman year, but I'm trying to run it back, so I feel good. It's just an amazing experience, and it's a great feeling.
And then one from up here. It seemed like Haley Jones sparked the run for Stanford. What was it that made her so hard to defend, and as she got those buckets in the late first and the second quarter?
The game plan was to kind of play off, but she's just an awesome player. She know how to make a move and get to the basket with ease. She know how to finish with both hands, so it's hard to send her one way without sending her to the other side. So it's hard, but she's a great player, so she just made the adjustment.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you, Nasira and Kelsey. You can rejoin your teammates in the locker room. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll now take questions for Coach Mannetti. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of each question. If you're on the Zoom call and have a question, please use the raise hand function, and I will call on you if we have time for your questions.
All right, Coach. Michael Robertson, African-American athlete. So you kind of had a carbon copy, but the reversal, the reciprocal of what happened in the second quarter. You guys had single digits this game, but you forced them to single digits last game. So what did it feel like when you saw the momentum change like that in the second quarter?
You know, I am always prepared for runs in a game, right? Like we say, ride the high and survive the low. I probably should have called a timeout to break up the run a little quicker, but for us, we were really focused on offensive rebounds and live ball turnovers to really minimize their second chance opportunities or opportunities off of our mistakes. And I think those moments got away from us a little bit, and our response offensively, unfortunately, was to take a quick shot. So I think we gave them a couple possessions quickly after we couldn't score and maybe we had made a mistake. And obviously it never feels good to have to go through that other side of it, but they're such a great team, and they make you pay. When you play teams at this level, and obviously Stanford is a well-oiled machine. I mean, you see them in the transition advantage. You blink off of a turnover, and it's a layup. I mean, you can't get there fast enough to stop that quick transition advantage. So I think for us, we just had to calm down a little bit, settle down. We got to that media, and I said, hey, we got to settle down a little bit, take better shots. And we were shooting well in that first quarter, and we just couldn't really hit. I thought we took some good shots in that second quarter. We just couldn't hit. And sometimes when you don't see the ball go through the basket, things compound and you just can't stop it fast enough. So, you know, I thought we responded well coming out of the half to just try and get settled back again. But, you know, when Haley sparks a run like that, I mean, she's one of the best players in the country for a reason. And I give her so much credit. I give her team so much credit. They are relentless. They are absolutely relentless. Like, you think you disrupted them and forced a great shot, and it's like, boom, O-board, put back, and you're like, oh my God, how do you stop it? So it was certainly a different experience. We've never played a team that is this level, this high of a level. And I think our players were really exposed to it, and they loved it. They loved this experience to say, wow, like there is, within Division I, there are so many different levels, and this is one of the best teams in the country. And while we got to hang with them for a quarter, they really showed why they were one of the best teams in the country in that second quarter, for sure.
Alex Simon from Bay Area News Group. 2 questions for you, Jessica. Obviously, it didn't seem to impact them to some extent, but when did you find out that Cameron Brink wasn't going to play tonight? And I guess how much was she a part of your guys' game plan for them?
Yeah, she is such a special player, isn't she? And I found out like 30 minutes before the game. My staff came in and told me. They said she hadn't been warming up, and there was a public announcement, I think. So I didn't tell the team before. I didn't tell the team in our after the warm-up. I told them right before the game. I said, oh, by the way, 22, Cameron isn't dressing tonight. And I think that gave them a little bit of reprieve. They were like, oh, all right, that's great. Who are they getting? I didn't want to tell them that her sub was a 6'7" freshman. But they figured that out very quickly. But I think it gave them a little reprieve to go into that first quarter with a little confidence, knowing that they weren't going to be at their full strength. You know, obviously they can win without her. They're better with her. She's such a big piece of their inside game. So we found out kind of late, which I think was better for us because then we could celebrate that quickly.
And then obviously, if it's a close game, you don't get these type of moments. But when you can pull your players off and give them a hug, I did notice you tearing up just a little bit at a few points there in the fourth. What are those moments like as a coach when you can kind of hug a player and kind of have a little sense of finality?
It's hard to put into words the feeling that you have after a season like we've had, right? And we're coming to play here at Stanford, and being able to watch them fight and finish out this dream season, it, like I said earlier, doesn't feel like a loss. So when we're able to sub them out and celebrate them one at a time and just take that deep breath, we've played 6 games, I think, in 14 days. I mean, and we've been bi-coastal with it. So to be able to take that breath and finally say, oh my gosh, like this is it. This is the last game. We're not gonna have to go to bed and then wake up early and scout prep and prepare for something else. We can really celebrate this moment where, wow, we've done some really amazing things for Sacred Heart, for the NEC, for everybody that's ever supported us. Let's take that moment right now and just be really grateful.
What did this week mean to you, and what will be one of your lasting memories of this week?
It's hard to put into words. As a coach, you dream of seasons like this one. You don't always get them, and you don't always have the opportunity to coach players that impact your life. You know, as a coach, you always try to impact their life, and we started 3 freshmen tonight. We came from a 8th place last year. We lost 4 of our 5 top scorers. We didn't know who we were. We had no identity through non-conference. And to be a part of this turnaround, to be a part of the support that we've had for our program, to be a part of this young group's belief, I think I said that in the locker room, you believed. There was never a doubt in your mind that we could be great and we could be special. And you did that. Nobody gave that to you. And as a coach, to be a part of that, to say, oh my gosh, these young women are inspiring and amazing, I will never forget everything that we've gone through over the last 2 weeks. I will never forget playing here at Stanford, where as a little girl, you dream about these moments. And once you feel it, you never want to not feel it again. So I think it will keep us hungry and driven to be able to return back here and maybe do more next time. You know, this is an unbelievable start for our program. To give our university, our president called wishing us luck this morning, the national exposure it's given us, the belief, the fight, it's amazing. And I'm very blessed to be able to coach these kids and be a part of what they decided they wanted to be this year.
Ben Barker, CardinalSportsReport.com. You already kind of touched on what I was going to ask, which is what's going to be the key to building on this and looking ahead to, you know, building on this for next season, because you guys have accomplished so much. A lot of programs could feel like, hey, we've kind of accomplished everything and stay stagnant. What's the key to keeping your players hungry and making those next steps you want to make as a program?
So you talked to Nye, She's absolutely relentless. She's one of the most competitive players I've ever coached, and she's our captain. She was named captain 4 games into our season. She will not let us let up. Her foot is always on the gas, and her team goes with her. She takes them with her. So I think for Sacred Heart, this is a huge stepping stone towards what we want to continue to build. You know, the NEC has been on the map the last couple days. The women have won their first 4 game. The men won their first 4 game and just upset Purdue today, which is amazing, right? We're so proud of our conference. We're so proud of our university and the support they rallied to give women's basketball. This is our starting point, right? Winning that first 4 game and making history. Why not do it again? Why not be able to get into this tournament and do it again at that next level that we want to challenge ourselves to get to? And I think with our young players like Nye and Amelia and Sierra and our players that are returning, I think the sky is the limit with this group. They're really special and young. A part of me thinks we won because they didn't know any better about how hard it was this year to win in March. And so I'm excited to continue to build, and I'm excited to continue to have the support that we've had and the belief that we've had. Belief is half the battle here, and I think we believe.
Last question.
Yeah, just with Stanford's depth, was there anybody, as you're scouting them, was there anybody that kind of stood out today where you were like, oh, we weren't expecting her to not just play, but play as well as they did?
No. I wish I could tell you that we didn't have high levels of respect for every one of their players. I mean, the scouting report was like 3 pages. I was like, we have to know every single one of these kids because like I said, they're so talented. They're going to play deep into this tournament. They have weapons that just keep coming off the bench, right? Like, there's no drop off. There's no like 7, 8, 9 where you come in and you're like, oh, she's not going to be. They're great. Every player is very talented and very capable. And I think for us, we just knew that we would have to fight for 40 minutes because they were not going to stop. And they didn't. And I have so much respect for that.
Thank you, Coach, and congrats on a great season.
Thank you so much.
We'll now have a short break and be back with Stanford's press conference. As a reminder, please silence all cell phones. Welcome to tonight's press conference for the Stanford Cardinal. Stanford's Sports Information Director is Wilder Treadway. Today we are joined by head coach Tara Vanderveer and student athletes Lauren Betts and India Navarre. Coach Vanderveer, would you like to make an opening statement?
We're really excited to be moving on and playing the winner of Mississippi at Gonzaga. I thought our team really played with a lot of energy today. We obviously were without two players, Cameron Brink and Janiah Harrell, but I think everyone stepped up. And Lauren had a great game. India had a great game, playing really hard defensively. Just want to compliment Sacred Heart on an excellent season, very well coached team, and in the first quarter, I think we were able to use our depth and wear them out a little bit. But congratulations to them on a great season.
Thank you. We'll now take questions for the student athletes. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of each question. If you're on the Zoom call and have a question, please use the raise hand function, and I will call on you if we have time.
Hi, ladies. Janie McCauley from Associated Press. Way back, every season that begins, Tara kind of talks about this journey and preparing every player on the roster to contribute in March, whatever that role might be. How much do you kind of credit her for the depth that you guys have and to be able to perform like this when a couple players aren't available?
Yeah, I think Tara definitely does a really good job of pushing us each and every day. I think all of our practices are super competitive, and she knows the depth that we have, so she makes sure that everyone's matched up with someone that will push them every day. So I think for me, Cameron and I, Kiki and I go at it every day, and it's definitely put me in this position for today. If someone can't make it, then I'm ready to go, and I know what I have to do.
Yeah, likewise. In practice, we're very competitive, and I think that really prepares us for the game. So when we have a chance to go in, we're not unprepared. We feel ready to play.
Ben Parker, Cardinal Sports. Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com here. Just talk about how it feels to have your first NCAA tournament game under your belts, having that done, and just did it feel different for you? Even though you guys have played a lot of games as freshmen, did it feel different energy? Being the tourney, just talk about what that first tourney game experience was like.
Honestly, it's just really exciting. This is something that India and I have grown up watching for a very long time. So it's honestly just an honor to be here and to play on this team and to just be, have this experience with, the amazing people I get to be with every day. So honestly, it just felt like a regular game. Obviously, there's a lot of hype and everything around it, but just have to trust that we're going to go out there and do what we have to do. So, yeah.
Yeah. Always growing up watching the tournament, looking forward to it. Being in it is kind of exciting because, I worked hard to get here, and being in it, I'm just excited every game. This game was kind of the same as the other ones, but just with a little bit more excitement behind it, knowing that this game we have to do what we have to do to get to the next. So.
Cheryl Coward, hoopfeed.com. Lauren, Cameron wasn't playing, but you kind of channeled her with some of those blocks you had, especially one at the beginning of the second quarter. It's kind of a monster block. Did that kind of rev you up, and do we expect more of that from you?
Yeah, it was super exciting. Honestly, I learned from the best. Cameron is definitely one of the best shot blockers ever, so it's honestly just super cool getting to watch her do that. But hopefully you'll get to see more shot blocks by me, so yeah.
Michael Robertson, African-American athlete. So, India, did you at all see what Sierra did yesterday, and knowing that she almost had a triple-double, so did you kind of get yourself geared up to possibly guard her this game?
Watching the film, we always prepare to play great players. She's a great player, I would say, and just watching her film, knowing what she does, I think that kind of prepared me for guarding her today.
Any more questions for the student athletes?
For Lauren, just talk about your sister was named, I believe she's named Gatorade Player of the Year in Colorado, I think, a couple weeks recently. Yeah. Just talk about what it's like following her and just having a younger sister that also hoops, and just kind of your family and how exciting it is for the whole family right now, her getting that award, you being in the tournament, just what's it like for the Betts household right now?
Yeah, I'm just super proud of her. Obviously, like, not many people know how hard she works every single day. Like, she's one of the most competitive, most hardworking people I know. So I'm just super proud of her, and I'm just really happy that she is kind of stepping to her own, and people are starting to finally leave my name out of her, basketball journey, and that she's becoming her own person. So I'm just super proud of her, and she deserves everything. So, yeah.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you, Lauren and India. You can rejoin your teammates in the locker room. We'll now take questions for Coach Vanderveer. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of each question. If you're on the Zoom call and have a question, use the raise hand function, and I will call on you if we have time.
All right, Michael Robertson, African-American athlete. So, Coach, yesterday, or 2 days ago, I'm sorry, Sacred Heart did the same thing you guys did to them in the second quarter. They blew it open pretty much against Southern in the second quarter. So how important was it that second quarter for you guys to blow this game open? It had a lead as large as, 43? So.
We had a great second quarter. I thought that, some of it is adjusting a little bit to the officiating and how tight things are going to be called, but I thought we needed to be more aggressive defensively, and we gave up too many points in the first quarter. So I think we tightened up our defense. It is really different not having Cam out there. But I thought different people stepped up very well for us, and we got our defense going. We had great contributions off the bench. Agnes came in, made some really big plays. Obviously, Talana with 7 assists was great. Her pass was to Hannah Jump for that last three that set the record for the most threes in a Stanford single season. So we're excited about that. But our defense got going. And again, I think that they had a game 2 days ago. They traveled out here. I thought they gave us a great game in the first quarter, and then we kind of put the hammer down.
Ben Barker, CardinalSportsReport.com. Tara, just 2 questions on Cameron. First of all, at what point did you guys know that she was not going to be available to play? And then 2, just any status update on her going forward?
I knew this morning when we came to shoot around, and I think that Wilder said this, but she has a non-COVID kind of illness, so she's day to day.
Tara, kind of along the lines of the depth. I mean, you really strive in September, October to prepare everybody to play on the March stage, and how pleased and proud are you of all the different contributions you get up and down the roster? And
right.
I know you work at that.
Well, I think people work hard every day in practice, and it is very hard to get minutes for 15 people. It's really impossible. I feel sometimes like when I watch the Warriors play, sometimes someone might play a lot in this game, but not that much in the next game, and that's really hard on a young person. But we're led by Cam and Haley and Hannah Jump, and I think Talana's doing really well. India had a great game. Lauren Betts came in and filled in beautifully, because Cam was out. Fran, I thought, did really well. There wasn't anyone that did poorly. So it was very, and we needed this for our team to kind of bust out a little bit, remind ourselves this is what we can do.
Alex Simon with Bay Area News Group. 2 questions for you. First, with one All-American out, it probably helps to have a second All-American. Did you feel like Haley maybe sought out more offense to kind of fill in for Cam?
I thought she was looking to be aggressive, which is a good thing. And I think other people were too. There were probably some, we took care of the ball really well, which is a great thing. I think we only had 2 turnovers at halftime. I thought we were getting some really good shots, but I don't feel like she was pressing in a bad way, but just being aggressive in a good way.
And then you mentioned that Hannah set the 3-point record. She does it with a halftime buzzer beater,
right.
And Jeanette's sitting calling game on the radio. Just what is that moment like for you when a record is set and you've got people in the program?
I didn't know that was the record, but it was a great shot, and credit Talana for pushing it and being aware. That's a backbreaker type of shot, and we've had shots against us like that, so it was kind of fun for us to get one.
All right, Coach, how impressed were you with the way Fran had played in this game. Double-double,
Right.
came in, started. She's had weird minutes all throughout the year, so I don't want to say she's been a pro because you guys are still amateurs. But how impressed have you been with the way she's handled, you know,
Right.
coming in with Haley and all the hoopla, and then her minutes been kind of less this year, and she came in and performed really well in this tournament game.
I think sometimes, Michael, it's really trying to fit the puzzle together. And, you know, sometimes it might depend on what people are doing. But if she keeps doing this and her money, you know, she's doing the right thing. Her rebounding has really been great. I mean, she was our leading O-boarder. She's shooting 50%, not turning the ball over. So I think she's playing really well, you know. And there have been bumps in the road for this team and for individuals. But that's kind of life. So I think that Fran has handled it well. She's been very mature. But I'm not going to tell you it's easy. But, you know, she's all about our team, and she's been a great leader.
Cheryl Coward, hoopfeed.com. I asked Nicera Pryor about what you talked to her about after the game when you went through the line, and she said it really meant a lot to her coming from you, the things you said to her. Why is it important for you to, you know, take that time out with teams like that? I mean, you do it a lot, and the kids really, you know, take it to heart. Why is it important to you?
Well, I think she's a great young player, and you know, so when I go through the line, and you know, I try to talk to all of them in some way, just, you know, encourage them. But it's a really hard time when you know your season's over, and you know, I think their team has to feel excited about coming out and winning the first game and being here, and I think they feel good about themselves. And I just wanted to kind of reiterate that to her, like that, you know, she's a outstanding young basketball player, and to keep working hard and keep doing what she's doing. I was very impressed with their team, with her, but more the poise of their team. They stayed together. They kept running stuff. Their coach was extremely positive. So I think, you know, that's a reflection on their program and their coach.
Ben Barker, CardinalSportsReport.com. Going back to Hannah Jump, just, you know, there have been games where she's not gotten going much offensively. Teams have taken it away from her, and she's had a tough time scoring some games. So just how huge was it for you guys to get her going like this in the first game of the tournament, and see her? Just how huge was it for you guys in this first game to get her going to start the tournament like this?
Well, you know, I mean, Hannah just. She's a great player. She, you know, is obviously an extraordinary shooter, but she does a lot more. She had assists for us. She rebounds. She talks out on the floor. She runs the floor hard. I think some of it is, again, the times that she maybe didn't score were times where she was tired, and that's on me, maybe giving her more rest. I try to take her out and give her a little more rest. So I'm looking at, you know, that's probably that might be one of the lowest numbers that she had all season long, just to rest her more and keep her fresh so she has her legs for her shot. But you know, I mean, I was excited to see her get going, and she looked very confident out there. You know, she's been shooting the ball really well in practice, and you know, it was fun to see her knock it down.
Any more questions for Coach Vanderveer? Thank
All
you,
right,
Coach,
great.
and good
We'll
luck on Sunday.
See everybody Sunday. Thank you. Oh, tomorrow.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow, but the
All
game
right.
is Sunday.